Hey everyone! So imagine this buying an iPhone for $3,000. Sounds crazy, right? Well, that might actually happen very soon. Let me explain why. Right now, there's a major issue going on between the United States and China. Both countries are involved in a serious trade war, and it's starting to affect some of the biggest tech companies in the world, especially Apple. Recently, the US government placed a 245% tariff on Chinese products. This means if something is made in China and sent to the US, it's going to cost a lot more because of the high taxes. And in response, China added a 125% tariff on American products. On top of that, China has also stopped exporting rare earth minerals. These are very important materials used to make phones, computers, and other electronics. Now, here's the problem. China controls about 70-80% of these rare minerals. If they stop sending them out, companies in the US will struggle to build devices. And this is bad news for Apple, because about 90% of iPhone production happens in China. Compare this to Samsung, for example. They make most of their phones in countries like Vietnam. Because of the rising tensions, Apple is already taking steps to avoid delays. They actually sent $2 billion worth of iPhones from India to the US using multiple cargo planes, just to avoid the Chinese production line for now. That's how serious the situation has become. There's also talk that the US might force Apple to start making iPhones in America. Former President Trump has supported this idea before, and if that happens, the price of iPhones will go up like crazy. Setting up new factories in the US would cost Apple billions of dollars. Plus, the speed and quality of production that they have in China would be hard to match. Some experts say that if iPhones are made in the US, the cost could rise to $3,000 or even $3,500 for the Pro models. Right now, Apple spends about $550 to build an iPhone, but with these changes, that number could go way up. And yes, you guessed it, the extra cost would be passed on to consumers like us. There's a little good news for now. Smartphones and electronics are temporarily excluded from the new tariffs, which means Apple doesn't have to pay the extra taxes yet. But that won't last long. In the coming months, iPhones, laptops, and even semiconductors could face new tariffs. This could lead to a 15% to 20% price increase for the iPhone 17 series. So if you're planning to buy the Pro or Pro Max, you might have to spend over $2,000 depending on the model. Let's move on to the camera features of the iPhone 17 Pro. Apple is working on major improvements this year. There are rumors that Apple will include a 48 megapixel 5x telephoto lens, which means all three rear cameras, main, ultra wide, and zoom, will have 48 megapixel resolution. That would make it possible to take high quality photos and videos no matter which lens you're using. It might also support 8K video recording across all lenses. Apple is also said to be working on a new camera user interface, making it easier and more fun to shoot and edit videos. Along with the iPhone 17 series, iOS 19 will also bring a fresh new look to your iPhone. Some early leaks suggest that Apple is working on animated icons and dynamic effects across the system. The lock screen might change depending on how you're holding the phone, and tapping on icons could even change their shape. These may sound like small changes, but together, they could make iOS 19 feel smoother and more modern. We'll get to see the full reveal this June, so stay tuned. We also got some of the best looks yet at the leaked design models for the iPhone 17 Pro. One big change is the camera bump, which now matches the color of the phone instead of having that usual black border. Some people love the cleaner look, while others prefer the older style. Either way, the design is getting more polished, and we'll probably get used to it once we see it in real life. So here's the bottom line. Apple is planning a lot of upgrades for the iPhone 17 series, including a better camera, a new iOS look, and a sleek design. But all of that might not matter if the trade war between the US and China keeps getting worse. If the tariffs stay in place and production problems continue, we could see iPhones costing way more than we ever expected. And at the end of the day, we, the customers, are the ones who will pay the price. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Would you pay $3,000 for an iPhone, or is that just too much? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.